And maybe I want to go on it. You can see now that I've made it bigger, things are right fitting in the right places so that I need to adjust those columns. And remember, it doesn't affect the formulas or anything. This is just how it looks. So we can fix it. So again, if I double click on it, you can see how I can instantly fix these very, very quickly. So those are just some formatting. So I made it bigger than that if you've used that before. So if I click on it, you can see I can quickly change my text on it. I can change the size. Notice how it's disappearing right away. So double click here and it instantly changes to this. Double click here and it fixes it for me too. If I wanted to change the whole once, I click on it and now I go back and adjust, maybe a bit smaller. If I wanted to enter in some data, so watching, I'll just get back when I enter it. So I've entered in some of my data from the website that I have on the top 10 groups and release all the time. You can see there's a little bit more formatting to do. Alright, so we have some titles here. I'm just going to take a moment and enter in some data. So
Puasa. Ya.
Yang pada bolak-balik. Bunyi deh kayak apa ya? Kenapa? Kalau mana? Oke. Apa?
Notice that we have wrap text. When I click on wrap text, what it does is it wraps the text in that cell, so it goes to within it, so I can read everything without changing that to it. So if you just wanted to kind of, it creates, you can see it dividing everything through here, but this just makes it so if you don't want a super wide cell, just wrap the text instead. So the next thing I want to do is I'm kind of going to add a main title here, and I can insert. So I can insert after this. This title would be nice if it was kind of centered on top of this here. But I have all these cells. This is the main one, and this stretches all to G1. So what I can do with this now is if I select the cells all to G here, and then I go and hit merge and center. Notice now it took all those cells and in one cell kind of merged them all together. That time for me. So again, I can go through here. I can maybe I'll add just a style to this. I'll call it formatting. Now I have my title to it like so. So I made a little bit more formatting. So I got my text. I got the title merged in. Now what I'm going to do is these are dollars right through here. So these are millions of dollars. So I just in this case, because I'm not sure if I click it, it's from US, Canada, United Kingdom, and so on, and it'll make the adjustments to those dollars on it. So how does this look if I was printing it? A couple, and I'm going to show you right here, and something I want you to point out. So,
Tunggu puasa.
Puasa, sampai puasa orang pol, sampai mangan pol. Kira-kira tadi mana 7.000. Ang gawin mo galing para ya larang email
style that I did come up through here, so it's nice to have that style to break things up. If I wanted everything in cell format, if I was highlighting everything through here, so I just drag my mouse down, I can go up and choose maybe I want to do these borders around everything. I can pick and choose. I'm just going to go to all borders to make this quick. And now I go back to my file and my print. You can see how it's adjusted. So if I was just printing now to my printer, I can adjust this. This goes the same thing if you wanted color in certain parts. So maybe I wanted this ranking colored here. I could pick a certain cell. Maybe if I wanted this orange right here, and I can pull my numbers on this one, and whatever you can center, just like in Word and everything, if I wanted everything centered, I can highlight everything and center to adjust to that way. So those are some more just basic formatting here, and getting, if you wanted to print what you had so far, you can always check to see under the print what things would look like now to get everything kind of looking very well, because it just makes things so much easier to analyze the data if you're printing it and showing it to somebody. They'll be able to find things very, very quickly. Okay, so let's start now with what makes Excel powerful. That's formulas. So formulas are, of course, an equation, but it's when you're taking a cell, because if the cell changes, the formula will change. So let's go ahead. Here's an example. If I was just clicking here, and always need to start with formula. So if I hit this, so if I hit this one right here, through here. So I want to divide E3 by D3, hit enter. And notice that it went to 27 cents, but that's because I formatted it earlier with dollar signs, and I don't want dollar signs on this one. I want percent. So they went to 20, so I went with the divide sign in this one right here. So I want to divide E3 by D3, hit enter. And notice that it went to 27 cents, but that's because I formatted it. Maybe you want more places, and it would work out fine. But the formula that E3 divided, you can see if I click on this cell, here's the formula is saying divide E3 by E3. Now, if I click on this right here in the bottom right hand, what it just did for me, it did, this again, hit enter, again, I'm going to hit my E's, I'm going to click on my overseas, and then I'm going to hit my divide sign here, and then I'm going to divide, hit enter, again, on money, I'm going to hit percentage, make an adjustment here back to my two percentages, grab this little handle, get that little black piece right here, and drag it down. You can do it slowly, there was an error, do with form. Now, if I go ahead and click on freeze pane here, you can see I can freeze pane, it's top first column, one, freeze this column here. If I go ahead and click on freeze pane here, you can see I can freeze pane, it's top first column. Well, I want to freeze this column here. Now you might have a different spreadsheet set up for a different purpose, but if I click on it, now if I was going over it, it stays in that ranking, so I can compare things all the time to that rank, so it just makes it visually easy to kind of scroll through to where you think the numbers are close, and you can compare it to that first thing. Turn it off very quickly, like so. Let's go back out a bit so you can see everything. Alright, now it's going to have all of that functions here. I just showed you I wanted it last time. Turn it off quickly, like so. Let's go to the rank. So it just makes it really visually out a bit so you can see the rank. And so I had it for the rank and the numbers over. So I had a feature. If I look under the view here, all the way, I wanted to look at the rank and numbers over here. Just make sure that I'm at the right spot. If I go ahead, it just makes it really visually easy to kind of scroll through to where the other user columns, and you can compare it to that first thing. You can turn it off very quickly, like so. Let's go back out a bit so you can see everything. Alright, so let's talk about some more formulas and functions here to kind of save you some time. And I'll zoom her on. I'm just going to highlight the exact range I need here. So it says equals sum everything between D3 and D12. So in this case, and you could just write different functions. I could hit sum range, and it's going to take care of the job for me. If I hit enter, it gives me a sum of everything here. And same thing as I showed you before. You over, drag that little handle, grab that little square, drag it over, and it just does it. The other thing you can do, I can copy. So if I go right click copy, and then maybe I want to here, right? It will do the same thing for the average, and on that, and I can change that to a percentage back to my home percent, and it gives you total amounts right through here. So you can see how quickly, and again, if any of these change, so if this was changing to a larger number, everything changes because it's connected to it. So I'm going to hit undo because that wasn't accurate. So as I go back, you can see under formulas, months. So that bar starts what you're looking for, and it's going to find it for you here, okay? So that's just a handy feature through all the Microsoft products. But so when we put a chart in, that's going to be under the insert here. Now, I'm going to show you one way here, just a simple way here today for this begin through here. So I'm going to highlight all these different titles here. Hold down control. So what holding down control allows me to do is it allows me to select different parts of it. So I held down control and I have two different areas highlighted. It gives you some examples right the chart in here. So I'm going to just go ahead and put recommended charts here. So right here, you can go to all charts if you want to look for charts. For this example, I'm just going to go to a paragraph. Like I said, do nothing on it, but I'm just going to go ahead and hit OK. It took that information down to a graph. Now it might not be so maybe I want to add a title, so I just double click in here and I get title here, just in there, and so I got the title here. If I click on this for chart elements, you can see I have the title inside. So maybe I'll put billing. Just start adjusting, so make sure my charts are coming out exactly if I want to. Have the different formatting options if I wanted to change it. I can hover over, so maybe if I like a little bit better, I can click on this one, and then it's adjust. Get the different formatting options if I wanted to change it. You can hover. Maybe if I like this one a little bit better, I click on this one, and then adjust it. So really simple to start some basic charts on this one. So if I was putting it down into right here, if I click off of it, maybe I want to make some adjustments to my columns, choose a different type of page to print on. So this is just kind of your general overview of Microsoft Excel for beginners. Just if you haven't used it, I'll show you how behind it. I'm going to have some other videos about Microsoft Excel to maybe help you increase how much you use it, how effectively you use it. If you did like it, hit that like. Give me any ideas what you might like to see in Microsoft Excel. This way, get into the numbers. So those tips for a lot of them. I'm going to show you quickly how to make your bill update on box with those quick adjustments. To the columns, Wednesday doesn't fit. Just double click up here and adjust everything to fit. So if I was going to go to fit, I type January. So just in the short form, I can do it in 1 or 2 if I go ahead and just pull it down. it will go to continue on through it. So that can save you a lot of time when entering these. And so you can go ahead, and if I go with this one, if I type, I'll just type Monday, and I can show you pull it down, but you can pull it to the right, like so. And so if you're going across that way with your headings, it's very easy to just pull through there. I'm just going to delete those. Now you can also do this one first. If I just had one number, it doesn't recognize a pattern. All it's going to do is copy down. So if I go ahead and use this and pull down, it will just copy the same thing over and over again. But if I give it a pattern, Excel knows this, and then it can guess what's coming next. So if I put 1, and then I just put 2 in here, and I know that the increment is just going to be increasing by 1. You need to make sure you highlight both now, and then you can see how the little icon changed. If I drag this down now, it will keep the increment keep increasing by 1. But if I had a different pattern, let's say if I used 5, and then I put 10 in here, and then I highlight. Some other things you can do also, notice if I drag up, have to be stuck with, notice if I drag up, it will go backwards, so it knows the pattern that way, and I can also drag to the left. So you don't have to be stuck with, I think you can go one way, it works with numbers too, so if I go with my 1, and to make sure it recognizes the pattern, and highlight both of these, you can see how it, you can go to the negative, I can custom add them to autofill. So that's how you do it. Now I'm just going to go back up to File and click on it, and when I go back, I'm going to go down to my options here. So with I need to go to Advanced, and then scroll all the way to the bottom, and then what we're going to have is edit our custom list. I'm just going to go ahead and click on this. So what I can do is go ahead and then just add the name by name. So if I was going through, you can see I can just write my names down here, and I can just hit enter, and I can go through and then just keep adding them like so. A different way you could do it is just import them. So if you did already have them typed up, so if I go ahead and click this, so let's say this is a list here, I'm just going to highlight and hit enter, and then I'm going to hit import, see how quick they came in on it. So I'll hit OK, and then I'm just going to hit OK again. So in this case, if I started typing, if I wrote my name down, you can see that as I drag down, autofills what I created. So you can do the same thing with department or technician here. But what I need to do first is I'm going to highlight this list. So I'm just going to go from here down to the bottom, and I'm going to sort this. And I'm going to show you the quick sorts, but it's not going to give me what I want right away. So if I just go to the A to Z and click, all it does is put it in the alphabetical order. You can see Avatar, Avengers, and it sorted this out all the time. Staying correctly with it, so it's sorted out all the correct rows with it. But I want to make sure I get this with value, this being my value being the thing that I want to sort it by. The other quick option is the C to A. You can see, but it's not what I want. What I need to do is go into custom. Now I'm going to go back over in custom sort. So when I go to custom sort, I have some options here. Notice that my data app, if I want it on, look at this sort on, it's going to be values on this one. So I'm going to leave out the values. Do I need largest to smallest, or smallest to largest? Well, I want end game to be on top. So largest to smallest. I hit OK, and you can see eventually all sorted out through it just the way I want. So the way to do that search, you add levels to your sort. Is it search? But if it's sort, let's say we sort these two, right? And I'm just going to tell the custom sort not selected, and I'm going to go to my custom sort again. Custom sort, and this time, see, I have my one level here. I can add another level. So if I go add a level, and this time for the second level, I'm going to be sorted by domestic. Same thing, cell values. Still one of the largest to smallest. Now, what should happen is Jurassic the Avengers should change place. So if I go ahead and sort it, you can see they did, because these two were tied already. So it put them in order, so it went to the next level to check the sort. So remember, you can add those other levels to your sort to get very specific in case there's these things that are the same. So make sure you take advantage of this sort feature inside Microsoft Excel. So I just showed you how the sort feature works. If you like that, you're really going to like how things can work. I go back up to see sort and filter, and I'm going to go ahead and click filter. And now you can see all these drop downs are added to each one. So what this can do is, quickly, I'll just show you from the first column here for the title. If I drop down, you can see everything is selected. If I just wanted to see one, so if I go ahead, I'm going to go and deselect everything, and I just want to see Black Panther, and I go ahead and hit this, but when in BBL unit, so at any time you want to clear any of your filters, go back up to here, and you can see that we can go ahead and hit clear, and everything goes back to normal. So let's look at a few other options inside the filter here. I'm going to work under right here, so when I drop down, you can see, again, all the numbers, but let's do some other things. So let's do some custom. So if I go to number filters, see, go through, I can go, I can get greater than, so I can put a number in between a number. I can do above average, so let's just see between. I can go see, again, all the numbers, but let's do some other things. So let's do some custom. So if I go to number filters, you can see as I go through, I can go and pick, I can pick greater than, so I can put a number in between a number. I can do above average, so let's just see which ones are above average. So when I click it, it found the average, and then it's going to make sure it shows me all the ones above average. So I have 5 that are is greater than 2. If you're looking at them, wanted to clear, and then I can drop down and I can do other types of filters. I'm not going to show you. Let's see what different things you can do if you wanted to. Let's say if I wanted to be clear, and then I can drop down and I can do other types of filters. I'm not going to show you all of them, but once you see all the different things you can do, if you want to do a custom, let's say if I wanted to be, if I say is greater than, so if I go here, is greater than 2,000, and then I'm going to say is less than 2,500. These numbers are actually all billions. I don't have billion numbers, so, but that's why if you're looking at them, why those are so small, representing billions. I just did this range, and I get very small list. Go to Alibaba.com. Check out top ranking. Enjoy fast discounts. Rounding 2, I'm going to start typing and round this one. So I'm going to click on this one, and it says I need to have the number and then the digits. So the digits going to be out where it's going to round to, and I'll change in a moment. I'm just going to start with 0, and I click on this, and then my comma, and then it's just 0. So then I'm just going to close that and hit enter. You can see it took the 4.833 and put it to 5. I can copy this down, and you can see how everything rounds. So in this one, it was an 8.1, we went to 8, 4 stayed 6.36, and 9.5 to 10. Now I can force everything to round up. So in this case, again, go back to my equal sign first. I'm going to start typing. I'm going to go round up. So I click on this one, select my number, and then 0 again, close my bracket. And you can see, we'll see which ones are different here. This one went up to 9 because we're rounding up on it, even though it was at 8.1. And the same thing with all of these down here. And then lastly, we have our round down. So if I go ahead and type this one in, and then click again on it, comma at 0, and then like so, you can see how everything rounds down. So right up back to it again, quick way that you can plot. So I'm going to say everything that is comma 0, I wanted to change to comma 2. So I'm just going to go replace all and hit OK and close. And you can see now it went through and changed it to I wanted to change to comma 2. So I'm just going to go replace all and hit OK and close. And you can see now it went through and changed it to at 0. To 1. So that's just a quick way to use the nice tool, just a little tip that you can use in other places too. But that's there for you. So that's the rounding function that can deal with some data that you're working with. So right before I start this next part, I just want to mention I have a different video coming out about shortcuts in Excel for beginners. So take a look for that in the description down below for a link or in the card above. So for this part, I'm going to try to explain cell positioning with relative pi. Multiply this just by a 1 here, and I should get 10. So if I copy this down, all the simple multiplication takes place through these. I'm going to check each cell. So as I said, if I go through and just hit F2, see changing, click in a spot, changing places. So if I go and copy this entire this way, you can see numbers get big pretty quickly. But if I go and click in a spot again, and I just go back to the line F2, you can see it's D4, C4, so it's shifting to the right now. Now, when I use absolute, I can tie it in a certain place, and that's what I'm going to show you in the next example. I can change which one I want to be relative and which one I want to be absolute. Alright, so now what we're going to do is add a dollar sign to our formula. We're going to see how it turns into absolute positioning we're going to do column A. So if I do my formula again, click, and I'll just click here and get my multiplied by this. And what I'm going to do now, when I get this selected, I'm going to use F. So if I hit F4 once, you can see dollar sign means absolute A, absolute 1. So if I hit it again, you can see it's A absolute 1 there, and if I hit it again, it's absolute A 1. So this with the equation here, because everything is just locked into place. But now, I drag this to the different spot here. What you're going to be able to see though is how it differs here. So if let's drag this over here to notice that it did out of the column A. This dollar sign number is a little bit, this top slot rating of times 2 is 14. You can see that's what we want. I'm going to drag this down here. And then at that point, if I check these using F2 again, and F2, notice that this one down on it, so we have A6 is moved down from the top, is moving down, but A1 would be that absolute, that stays the same on all of it. So even if I was going to copy this the other way across, and if any of these I click in and hit F2 again, you can see it stays in that spot. So if there's one number you want to adjust, so if this number was changing to something else, so if I go ahead and adjust this, I'll put 5, you can see how everything adjusts to it because that's the absolute reference to part of that formula, part of that equation that I created. So that like this referencing, self-referencing. I made this row across down. Now, if I can check with my see this one over here, remember use the correcting